expanding capacity, today's visit of Nottingham Forest, the first of 4 big home games in the next 2 weeks. And although the European nights attract the glamour, Ron Atkinson knows that he can't neglect the bread and butter of the league. And in a search for a more offensive midfield, he's dropped his captain Kevin Richardson today for the very first time and brought in 20-year-old Graham Fenton. Dwight Yorke replaces Guy Whittingham as Dean Saunders' strike partner, and with Mark Bosnich ill with a heavy cold, Nigel Spink deputises in the goal that will be the target of this man. Stan Collymore has a pace that belies his 14.5 stone in weight, and his record of 34 goals in 44 games as a Forest player ranks him alongside the likes of Ian Wright and Alan Shearer, which is where he wants to be in an England shirt. Well, Forest as a team are unchanged from the side that beat Wimbledon 3-1 as they seek to extend their unbeaten run to 23 matches and possibly go top of the Premier League tonight. Off, having taken only 1 point from the last 5 Premier League games and only 10 in total this season. That's out wide, intended for Staunton, who's playing left side midfield today, a position that he's filled quite regularly for Aston Villa. But Forest have shown in recent matches that they are really dangerous in full flow, and it's an early ball intended for Collymore, but it's Roy who's picked it up and goes down under a strong challenge, and it's a penalty. Earl Barrett's tackle has brought a penalty, and we've played just over 30 seconds. The first testing ball into Villa's penalty area, and Barrett's tackle adjudged worthy of a spot kick. And Stuart Pearce has put the ball on the spot, and Nigel Spink in the firing line. 1 minute, 13 seconds on the clock. Stuart Pearce with the penalty, and Forest go marching on. Well, Nigel Spink might reflect later that he could have done better with that. He didn't go to either corner, but it was low to his left and tight to his body. And for Forest, second in the Premier League on 24 points, just 2 behind Newcastle at the start of play. It's a marvellous, marvellous start. It's misdirected. Townsend, Staunton with more space. Saunders has made a great run. Terrific run by Dean Saunders, that's what he does best. Spotted the opening, spotted the chance, diagonally across the penalty area, on to meet the ball from Staunton. And any sort of a proper connection, and Crossley might have been embarrassed. McGrath. Villa players just helping it on. Saunders. Townsend. He's got to play a captain's role this afternoon with Kevin Richardson in the stand. There's Dwight Yorke. He's kept it in play very well, Dwight Yorke. Saunders, it was Fenton behind him who had the header. That's what he's in for this afternoon, to track up from midfield and support the front men. And when that was just too high for Saunders to get, Fenton was on hand. What a great cross. The shot had to be saved from Gary Parker. There wasn't really enough pace on it to seriously test Crossley. And the distance was greater than the Villa player would have really liked. Now is the space to deliver the good ball. I'm not sure if Steve Staunton really intended that. It seemed to fly off the outside of his foot, but it wasn't far from the top corner. I think his intention was just to knock it in with real pace. Stone to David Phillips. Håland with Collymore on his outside. Fell nicely for the fullback. Still there, gets it into the middle where Lee was waiting, but so too McGrath. And maybe Forest have soaked up the best that Villa can throw at them. Chettle, just a little touch. Oh, it's gone in, Stone. It was mishit, and it's cruel to Aston Villa, but it's Forest second, and maybe now the game is beyond the home side. A silence of disbelief around Villa Park. Stone lurking just on the edge of the penalty area. Chettle got a little touch there, but the header by Townsend was down to Stone. His shot went right into the turf, and after 70 minutes, Nottingham Forest, who were the top scorers in Division 1 last season with 74 goals, go ahead by 2-0, and that's now 15 goals they've scored in the last 5 league appearances. Parker, Dwight Yorke, cannoned off the back of Cooper, I think it was. Extend their unbeaten run. 13 games this season, 23 games in all, if you take the last 10 at the end of the promotion season from last time. The early penalty from Stuart Pearce, and then Steve Stone scoring rather fortuitously after Forest had finally broken out from almost relentless Villa pressure. Full time here at Villa Park is Villa 0, Forest 2.